Hi, Alvin DeLeon here, and you are watching episode 59 of the 3-Minute Health Tip. And in this episode, I'm going to talk about constipation. We're going to look at constipation from a G&M perspective and the knowledge of the 5 biological laws, that there's a biological program involving the psyche, the brain, and the organ. And when we're talking about constipation, the organ that's involved is actually the muscles of the intestines, or the intestinal muscles. And the intestinal muscles are controlled from the part of the brainstem also known as the midbrain. And the biological conflict affecting the psyche that leads to constipation symptoms is a conflict related to an inability to pass an indigestible morsel. So the conflict is an inability to pass an indigestible morsel. And this can be something literal, like a food that's difficult to digest, and that will cause difficulty in the peristalsis of the intestines and therefore causing constipation. But for many of us, it's more of a figurative inability to pass an indigestible morsel. So that means that you're dealing with something in your life that's hard to digest, a morsel that perhaps is making you angry or upset, and you're unable to pass it through. You're unable to let it go. You're not unable to move it through your digestive tract. So this could be any morsel, a territory where there's a fight with a family member or sibling regarding property or ownership of a territory. It could be a money morsel. It could be a relationship morsel that perhaps is upsetting, but it's hard for you to pass it through. It's hard for you to let it go and move it through your life or your intestines. Also, it's important to understand when we're dealing with constipation that those of you that are knowledgeable of the 2 phases based on the 2nd biological law, that there's 2 phases on every biological program, constipation actually occurs in the conflict active phase. In the healing phase, when the conflict is resolved, that constipation becomes cramping. It could lead to flatulence, bloating, or even diarrhea. Those of you that are suffering from constipation right now, or perhaps your children, that's in the conflict active phase. So you need to know, what is the indigestible morsel that's hard to pass through, that's hard to let go of. And this could also relate to the fact that in general, anytime we're in the conflict active phase, there could be constipation. Because in the conflict active phase, everything slows. Digestion slows, the blood rushes to the core, the hands and feet are cold, you have interrupted sleep, you're preoccupied with something constantly at the psyche level. So for you that are dealing with constipation that seems to be chronic, you might want to ask yourself, what's going on in my life right now that I'm stressing over, that's been unexpected, that's creating a bit of a distress for me? And even those parents out there dealing with children with constipation, you want to look at what could have been a change in your child's routine that's creating them to be stressed right now. That unexpected event has been hard for them to digest, hard for them to pass through. And by making the connection and creating an environment that alleviates that stress for you or for that child should allow you to start to see a change in your symptoms. The constipation starts to go away. You may have actually loose stools, some flatulence, and some diarrhea. If you're dealing with constipation, today's health tip, look for what indigestible morsel, what is it that's hard to digest in your life that you're not able to pass through or let go of? Or in general, what are you stressed about right now? What unexpected event has taken place in all areas of your life that's not yet resolved? So I hope that health tip serves you. I want to thank you as always for your attention, and I'll see you at the next episode.